We're standing here with Krzysztof Soszynski at the Rain Training Center. And Krzysztof, I know it was just announced about a week ago or maybe a week and a half that you finally have a fight coming up. And let me know about who you're fighting and why it took so long.
You know, I'm fighting Igor Pokrajac at UFC 140 in Toronto. Very excited. We were supposed to fight in Vancouver. He got injured, so then we get a chance to do it in Toronto. I believe it's going to be on the Spike prelim card, which is going to be great. All the Canadian fans can see it live on Spike and or Rogers, whatever it is, and then everybody in the States can see it on the Spike TV. So very excited about that. You know, it's been a long time. Been a lot of injuries. I've had 3 knee surgeries in the last 7 months. I've had a nose injury as well. I had to get that fixed. So my last 2 fights, I basically fought with 60%. So I feel much better now. You know, I don't think I'll ever be 100%, but as close as you can get to it. Knees are feeling better. I'm actually getting a chance to grapple and roll. I haven't done grappling or rolling in the last 18, 19 months. So it's all been just mostly striking and stand-up work. So very excited about getting back in the octagon, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting fight.
How is that, knowing coming into a fight that you're injured and you're not 100%? I guess that has to take a toll on you mentally. It has to be on the back of your mind at all times.
Oh no, definitely, for sure. It's definitely really tough, especially with the last fight when I had 3 different guys, especially, you know, getting 3 different fighters announced for my fight and having a last-minute change 3 days before the fight. So it was definitely mentally tough, but you know, I mean, I'm a veteran in this sport. I've been around for quite a while, 9 years now, and you know, I dealt with it pretty well, and you know, stay positive and stay mentally focused, and got the job done. So, you know, I'm still pretty proud that I won the last 2 fights, even though I wasn't even close to 100%. So, you know, I mean, I'm looking to come into this fight, you know, as close to 100% as you possibly can get. My knees are feeling great, body's feeling good, and I'm working my butt off.
Would you say your opponent is as tough of a fighter that you face, or you feel that you've perhaps faced tougher opposition back in the past?
I don't think there's anybody tougher than Stephan Bonner. I fought him twice. We've had 2 wars. They've been great fights. You know, Igor presents a lot of different challenges. A very good striker from Croatia with the Croatian top team. He's working here in the States too on his ground stuff. So, you know, I mean, I've just been looking at his films, you know, trying to find some weaknesses, and then we're going to try to exploit those weaknesses.
Now, speaking of that fight, you just mentioned to me that you don't want to continue fighting past a certain age. You want to retire, I believe, 2 years from now. So, in a perfect scenario, how many more fights would you want to have? And I guess with who? Do you want to, you know, make a final push for a title shot, or you're content fighting interesting fights for yourself?
Well, for me, I'm 6-2 right now. This is going to be my 9th fight in the UFC. I like to get to 7-2. And then hopefully, if everything works out in this fight, I'm 7-2, and then I can ask to fight a top 10 contender. I really like to see and challenge myself, see if I do belong in the top 10 in the UFC light heavyweight division. I think I do. I think you know, I mean, I've developed my game to the point where I feel like I am a top 10 contender, and I can fight with those guys. I can give them a go. So, you know, if everything works out and I do well against Igor, then I'm definitely going to ask Joe Silva to match me up with a top 10 contender and see if he can maybe hopefully make a run for that title. We'll see. We never know. Fight is a fight. So we'll see what happens with Igor first.
This 205 division is being ruled right now by Jon Jones, and I want to ask you a question that a lot of people just ask and wonder. You know, do you feel that there's weaknesses there that people can exploit it and beat the guy?
You know, I think everybody's got some weaknesses. He doesn't have many. You know, especially when you fight somebody who's that tall and that lanky and has such an amazing reach and so athletic. You know, great at wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu stuff, and his striking as well with all those back spinning stuff, and you know, just again with that long reach. It's definitely going to be really tough to find somebody who can exploit him. I'm really looking forward to his fight against Rashad Evans. Those guys being teammates and having trained together. We'll see what happens in that fight. I'm actually really excited about seeing that because you know, I mean, I think if anybody can take him, it's possibly Rashad, being his old teammate. So I'm sure he knows all the weaknesses.
You being also a very educated and well-versed strength and conditioning trainer, a lot of people say, you know, Jon Jones has very skinny legs. Now, does that say anything about his training or his physique or any, I guess, type of weaknesses, having, you know, legs that are a little bit smaller than the rest of his body? Does that tell, like, potential fighters when they're looking at that, something about him, maybe a weakness?
I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think you know, his body shape is perfect for him. You know what I mean? He works with it really well. He's very bony. His knees are brutal. You know what I mean? When you kick with those long, lanky legs, you're getting shin-on-shin contact, shin-on-bone contact, shin-on-muscle contact. So, you know, I mean, that's going to hurt a lot. So I don't think it has anything to do with weaknesses or anything like that. I think it's even a strength for him. He uses it very well. He uses his knees really well. He uses his elbows really well because he's built like that. So it works for him really well.